So, the big question going around is, what's your favorite palette? Well, kind of. What's actually going around is the palette tag round 2, which was started by Samantha March and Allie Glines. Now, I had made a comment on someone else's video about some of the palettes they had chosen because they chose some stuff by my favorite brands. And in return, I was asked what my answers would be. So I thought, well, all right, I'll give you my answers then, I guess. I will have the questions listed below. I'm going to link both Samantha and Allie, but I'm sure most of you have probably heard of this or seen this before you're ever going to get to my video anyway, so I'm just going to jump right in. The first one is one of my all-time favorite palettes, and that is the BH Romantic Nomad, which is kind of an odd one because this is before they had the nice big square pans that everybody loves, so this is the formula that people weren't super fond of. And it looks like it's a really soft little nothing, and the pans are small, and it doesn't really look like I've used it, but I have. This is the palette that I could probably take with me and get almost a look for any color of outfit that I would be wearing, and it's still cool enough colors for me because I tend to prefer the cools over the warms. So that's kind of one of my all-time favorite questions, or all-time favorite palettes. The next one is what's my new favorite palette? Well, this last year, I was lucky enough to come across Saints, Angels, Sinners, and this was the very first palette I ever got from them, and it is called Egg Hunt. And the reason that this is my new fave, we're gonna see if I can do this and get you to actually see anything, is that shade right there is so gorgeous. It goes with everything, and I'm seeing a little bit of a reflection and a shift, so hopefully it's showing up for you guys on camera. But pretty much anything from Saints, Angels, Sinners is gonna hit my new faves. Then, what do I keep for the memories? Oddly enough, it's this. It's a happy birthday palette. I want to say it was probably the first birthday gift I got from Ulta, but it's a NYX palette, and do it without blinding you. It's just basic. There's not really a whole lot to it, but I hold on to it because it does have some really fun shades. I do really like this cranberry here, which is kind of turning out a little bit muddy on my hand, but it's a really pretty color. There's some really good neutrals. The formula is decent, and I keep it because it was a birthday present for me that was free that I just really enjoyed. So I've always held on to it even though I don't really use it a whole lot anymore. The next question is, what do I think is an underrated palette? And it's got to be this one by Dominique Cosmetics. Everyone talks about the lattes, and those palettes are lovely too, but this one, Sweater Weather, and I'm trying not to blind you, actually comes the closest to recreating some of the favorite shadows I had way back when I first started using Mary Kay. So it's just a little nothing. It's not anything super snazzy or fancy, but I think that this one is kind of underrated. I don't ever hear anyone talking about this one from Dominique Cosmetics. And honestly, I don't think it was a hit because when I got it, it was on a pretty good clearance price. But I like it, and I've used it several times. So then, what's not a fave, but I can't get rid of? It's Bonjour Montreal by Essence. This is one of 2 palettes by Essence that I own that is not one of their new 6 pans. And I'll see if I can do it this way. Really pretty, really basic, soft colors, which considering that a lot of times it always looks like I wear bright stuff, I do actually like the pastels and the softer colors. And the formula on this one was one of the best. There was a whole collection of different locations, and I didn't like any of them but this one. So this is the only one that I kept. And so I don't love it above all others, but I just can't seem to get rid of it because I kind of like it. So the next question is a favorite collab. Now, this isn't the only place that I live. So if you were asking me in my other location, I would probably have a different answer, but because of where I am now, I'm gonna say that my favorite collab is That Time of the Year, which is a Gourmande Girls collab with Debutawn, Adventures of Xinia, and the Brutally Honest Beauty. And I found this through Debutawn's channel. That's how I found out about the palette, and I don't even remember how I found out about her, but this is the color story for it. And this is actually one of the palettes that's in my Panning Punk collection that I've been working on right now. So I'll actually link Debutawn's channel because I follow her too, and she's part of making this actually come to life. So you want to go check her out. Then, my 2021 faves. And I had to cheat. But they're both Natasha Denona. They're just, and they're almost the same. But they're both kind of my favorites. And I swear I'm picking nothing really with a whole lot of color, it seems like. One was from a subscription box, which I don't get. So I actually got this. It's the AYANA palette, and I got it on Poshmark, I believe. But then Dominique is the other one. And they're really similar. They're both cool neutrals. They're just a touch different, but either one I can grab at any time and get a great look out of. That's just a basic everyday, not make people stop in the street and stare at me for clown makeup type of look. And they both perform fantastic. It's Natasha Denona, so you know the formula's great on those. Then, what was one that is one that I didn't expect to like, but I did? So I don't exactly know why I did this. I'm blaming Britt Clark. This is all her. This is a Makeup Geek palette, which if I show it, if I hold up the camera, it's going to blind you. But it's their singles, and they actually did send the palette with it, and it was kind of around Thanksgiving time, and I had never tried Makeup Geek, and she raves about them, and I thought, well, they're doing an incredible price for this bundle of shadows for an indie company. I know that the quality is good, but I had never tried it, so I went ahead and got it, and I got to use her discount code on it, so I got it really cheap, and honestly, I'm impressed. I mean, these shades are no joke. I mean, there's just a couple of the greens, and they're very nice. So I thought, oh, it'll be okay, and it's not exactly my color story. I like cooler things, but I really like that one, and I didn't expect to like it quite as much as I did. So the next one is one that sparks joy. And this one is kind of a cheater one for me, too. This is a palette that I kind of put together from the Dandelions collections. I took half of what was their winter Christmas palette that had all of the silvers and the blues in it, and I ordered just those individually. The other half of the palette was going to be more warmer colors, which I wasn't attracted to. So I went through and picked out a bunch of my favorite pinks and purples and all that fun stuff instead, and they're all pretty and shiny, and I've used this one several times. I'm running out of space on my hand, but there's some really amazing colors in this one too. I'll just give you a couple of a pink and a purple, a couple nice swatches there. So it's a good formula. It's a lot of fun to work with, and I like getting to pick my own favorite colors. So then the next question is, what is my newest palette? And my newest palette is actually Dead of Winter. It actually just came in today, and this is from Baby Bat Beauty. So I haven't even used this yet. It looks like it might have just a couple of little gouges in it, but that color story is just lovely, and I can't wait to get into that. There's a gorgeous sparkly purple here called Midnight Sun, and then there's a sparkly black, and I don't know if you'll be able to see any of the glitters in that, but that's Black Ice. So since that one just arrived today, that is my newest palette. Now, the last question is the first palette I used in 2022, and I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. I wasn't actually here in the beginning of 2022. I didn't get back until the first week in January. And I don't even remember what the first palette was that I used here. I wasn't keeping track of it at that point. I hadn't started doing this kind of stuff, so I had no reason to write it down or remember it for anything. So your guess is as good as mine on that one. Other than that, I will leave the questions for all of these below if you want to join in on it too, or if you want to hop in and tell me that some of these are your favorites or anything. Throw any kind of comment down there. If you've got something to say, go ahead and say it and we'll start a chat. If you did like this or my channel or me or any of that fun stuff, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Subscribe, stick around, come back, see what I do next. There's lots of panning. There's a lot of, goodness gracious, there's lots of battling and apparently lots of me being incoherent. You never know what you're going to get when you come to one of my videos. So until next time, bye.